In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the RealitysTemple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host of this program, known here on social media, originating from YouTube. I am known as the mighty Angel Snub Nub 7. I am your soul brother, number one, and your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. Well, brother, how can you be a friend when you're always talking about another brother or sister, especially the brothers? You're always defending the sisters, but brothers, you are always talking about us all the time, and you claim to be a brother and a friend. I want to say something to you. I have biological relatives. We all have biological relatives. And your mother is probably the closest one that is to you. However, your mother, father, brothers and sisters, cousins, whomever, nobody is above critique. Nobody is above being held accountable for their actions. Every time we have a family get-together, my mother really dislikes when her children get together and talk about what she did and what she didn't do. But she is not above critique or being held accountable for what she done, nor myself. None of us are. And with that critique, it's according to the place where it comes from. We are just talking about our mother and joking around, and whatever hurt and pain we suffered, we laugh it off and it's over and done with. It's no big deal. In a way, it is therapy for us so that we can get over some of the things that we disliked about what our mother did or father did, so that we can continue to embrace our parents, so that we don't hate them or wish to do them harm because of something that we found ill that they done to us when we were younger children, and wish to take it out on them now that we can, but we were defenseless when we were children. So the critique that I give my mother or father or my cousins or my siblings, it does not come from a bad place. In most cases, it is to remind them when they become arrogant of who they really are. And in some cases, it is to try or an attempt to bring something to our attention so that person can be a better person. Then there is the critique, where we seek to point fingers so that we can attempt to degrade and make mockery of somebody. And that is not where I come from. That's not the place where I come from. We as a people, we have been made mockery. We have been degraded and painted as inferiors and so forth for over 400 years. Why would I, with purpose and intent, try to degrade and make mockery or bring any of us soul brothers and sisters down? It makes no sense. So when I critique or bring to the attention of something to anyone, it is never to degrade you or make mockery or jealousy or envy or any of these things. It is simply, and I could be in error. And if I am in error, please show me how I am in error so I can stop and I can apologize so that we can go on to do better and greater things. However, for many of us, because we are so self-righteous and so arrogant, and we think we are more than what we really are, when somebody tries to give us advice, who are you to tell me anything? We throw up our nose and we become snobbish, and that's when you really need to get your butt whooped. And as you get your butt whooped, you're so arrogant and high and mighty, but then you cry. So-and-so talking about me, so I can take it. I don't care. Well, if you don't care, what you talking about it for? Why are you making it an issue? Why are you bringing it up? Because we don't like the man in the mirror. We've created this delusion, this fantasy around ourselves. And when somebody brings us the reality, and that's what I'm about, bringing you the reality of things, you can't handle it. That's your problem. Because at the same time, you claim you are a seeker or you represent the truth, but you don't want to hear truth unless it's in the package that you think that it should be in, and you definitely don't want to hear the truth about yourself. You may dislike what I say, and what I say you may get upset with, but nobody never says that I'm a liar. That is not the truth. Oh, you should take that person in private. These people don't want to talk to you at all, in public or private. They want to stay in their delusions. They don't want to face the man in the mirror. And that's all good, because you don't have to face the man in the mirror. But I'm going to bring that mirror to you. And I want those in this public forum for myself. Bring the man in the mirror. Because I know that your truth will help me. There are many out here who dislike me and they talk a bunch of crap. They don't bring truth. They bring things to try to degrade you and make mockery. They don't want to see you as a better person. So, of course, that type of wicked heart, that is ignored. I'm not interested in that. But anything to make me better, anything to show me my error and my flaw, I'm happy to embrace that, because I don't want to be in error. I don't want to be in flaw. I want to be the best person I can be, the best soul brother to you that I can be. So my critique does not come from a wicked, nasty place. But see, for some of you, there are those whom you believe are above critique, who don't make error, who don't suffer from flaw, who are perfect, and they are not. There's nobody perfect. And what is perfect? I have yet to meet any person living that was not susceptible. Man, it's certain words that just twist my tongue, but to critique, to error, to flaw. And these are the ones who are in the most need of help, because in their minds, they think they can do everything is right. Our soul brother, Michael Jackson, has left this world early, really. Premature, I might say. We never know our time, but we could say that Michael left premature, and that's because he rose to a level nobody can't tell him nothing. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And that eventually sent him to an early grave. And if you are a leader or a teacher and you have all these blind followers, then you lead not only yourself to an early demise, but you lead your followers because they can't think without you. So if you're screwed up, your followers are screwed up too. And that's just how it goes. All these blind followers making these infantile, childish comments on my page, but making no attempt to prove that what I'm bringing to them is false. Yet and still, I represent the truth. I want the truth. No, you don't. You want something that makes you feel good. Give you that warm, tingling feeling inside. I'm not interested in that. I am interested in truth, and sometimes hearing the truth hurts, and that's just the bottom line. And you don't want to feel hurt anymore. Well, this is not the place to be, because sometimes your feelings, sometimes you have to be hurt in order so that we can grow, so that we can mature, so that we can become better. So it is no shock to me that you continue to remain in the condition that you're in because you reject truth, because you don't want to get hurt. And that's why all these pastors and preachers and these preachers of religion, that's why they live high on the hog. Because you make them feel good. They don't want to get hurt. At least one day on Sunday. I'm going to speak about this person, this brother, this man that we know of as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And when I speak about Minister Louis Farrakhan, it's not like there are not those who don't know me. There are many who are still under the leadership of Louis Farrakhan who know me. But you see them make no attempt to make no video to refute anything that I say. Because first of all, they know they can't do it. And they also know that what I'm saying and bringing is the truth. There was a time in the early 1980s, and I want to say this and make it very clear. I wanted to be a follower as a child. As a child, I wanted to be a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That was not possible. By the time I came of age, he was deceased. But then I was introduced to Louis Farrakhan. I didn't know who Louis Farrakhan was until the 1980s. And he asked people, did they want to help him rebuild what Elijah Muhammad founded? That's what I signed up for. I did not sign up to follow Louis Farrakhan. I signed up to help him rebuild what Elijah Muhammad had founded, what Elijah Muhammad had created, him and Wallace Farad Muhammad. I don't owe Louis Farrakhan no allegiance. I owe Louis Farrakhan nothing. In fact, what he did was really deception, because his intent never was to rebuild the original teachings of Elijah Muhammad. Louis Farrakhan has done nothing for me. I have given unto him, but he has never given me nothing. Anything that I have, my FOI pen and my Holy Quran, his nation of Islam gave me nothing. So I owe him nothing. But he was supposed to be my brother, and I want to help my brother rebuild a man I call my spiritual father, even to this day. But see, this was when I was a child. I wanted to follow Elijah Muhammad. But as I matured as a man, I began to think more for myself. I began to see the flaw and the error in my father, Elijah Muhammad. Nobody is above critique. Nobody is above being held accountable for their actions. I don't care who you are. My mother, Elijah Muhammad, or anybody. And I was taught by Elijah Muhammad even this. And you tell the truth no matter what. But when it comes to certain people, they are off limits. Nobody is off limits. So I was a helper of Louis Farrakhan, not a follower. In fact, even during the time I was helping, I kept asking these questions and saw different things. And some people call me insubordinate and all this kind of things. You can't talk like that about the minister and whatever. Because I questioned things that was going on. You have a right to question. You have a right to, especially when I'm taught certain things. And you are even doing things that's against your own teachings. What the? What I notice is that in the nation of Islam, they don't do nothing wrong. Have you ever heard of anybody in the nation of Islam, in the top leadership position, Elijah Muhammad himself, have they ever apologized for anything? Yet and still, you make mistakes. You are subject to error. You are not perfect. So if you are subject to error and you make mistakes, then you tell me why out of the 80-some years, why aren't you hearing apology, showing some signs of remorse? That's because I'm divine. I'm above all those things. That's why I don't like religion. So you can judge me and you can tell me how crazy I am and insane or whatever. But if I'm divine and you believe I'm sent by God, I can't make mistakes. I'm not subject to error, nor will you hold me accountable for my actions when I do what is clearly wrong. Oh man, religion got y'all all messed up and brainwashed. Many believe Elijah Muhammad was perfect. Jesus is perfect. Prophet Muhammad perfect. All these divine people, they're perfect. Noah got drunk, and even though he was drunk, he's still perfect. And some of the prophets committed adultery and whatever, but that's overlooked. They are divine. See, this is another thing about religion that don't make sense, and it's contradictory, and it's hypocritical, because you teach the people one thing, but you're doing something else. In the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, How to Eat to Live, he teaches us that we should not eat nuts, peanuts and Brazil nuts and nuts from trees and whatever. They are too coarse for your stomach and they take 5 years off your life. Well, my first question is, it's been 80 years. Can you show evidence that because I ate a walnut or a pecan or anything like that, people and animals have been doing that for centuries, for eons, and it takes 5 years of your life? Elijah Muhammad didn't even live to be 90 years old. He was not eating peanuts and nuts and whatever. Supposed to have been fasting, every day or whatever, 1 meal a day. He didn't even reach 90 years old. And when he did leave this planet, he was extremely sick with all that fasting and eating the right foods. Why was Why were you sick like that? And why were you suffering like that? But yet you had this incredible life-giving diet. Where's your evidence and where's your proof that because I ate a peanut, some nuts, it took 5 years of your life? First of all, how you don't know how long you're going to live. And how do we know that because we ate a walnut, it took 5 years from that lifespan? See, that's the thing about religion. We don't think about nothing. And then when it comes to peanuts, a peanut is not a nut. A peanut is in the bean family, like the navy bean. It's in the bean family, except they grow under the ground. It's a legume. It's not a nut. Nuts come from trees. Peanuts grow under the ground on a vine, right? On like a vine type plant. It's a legume. It's not a nut. It's just like eating a hamburger. A hamburger is made from beef, not pork, but it's called a hamburger. A hot dog is made from beef and pork or whatever. You know, the waste meat, scraps from the process of butchering or whatever. But it's not made out of dog. It's not a dog, but we call it hot dog. So you have many Muslims, they will not eat peanuts, peanut butter or whatever, because the messenger teaches us not to eat nuts. But the peanut is not a nut. It's a legume. And many Africans, matter of fact, they said that the peanut was introduced to America due to Africans because a lot of Africans ate peanuts. Another word for peanut is goober. See? Oh, you mean so somebody told me, you mean to tell me my messenger is wrong? Yes, I am telling you that. Because a peanut is not a nut. Then he goes on to talk about you can eat the cabbage, but you can't eat the Brussels sprout. The Brussels sprout is nothing but an immature cabbage. I don't know the reason why you can't eat the Brussels sprout over the cabbage. Maybe because when it's immature, it's more rough or whatever. But the Brussels sprout is nothing but cabbage. Some people think they are two different things, and they are not. So you mean to tell me my message? Yes, your messenger is wrong. And your messenger was also wrong when he kept hidden that he was having these liaisons with these young women, calling them his wife. He told and taught us to respect the laws of the United States. In the United States, it is against the law to practice polygamy. So these women were not his wives. Where are the marriage licenses? And then, just like Malcolm said, these young women were brought up before the congregation, the membership, and they were condemned and made mockery of and looked down upon because they committed fornication. But they committed fornication with your leader and your teacher and your guide, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I don't know how you're going to flip it and how you try to justify it. That was deception. There are those right now, like Brother Polite and others, they tell you outright they practice polygamy. I got these wives. Why did Elijah Muhammad hide this activity away from his membership, his followers? That is deception, because you're teaching one thing and you're doing something else. And actually, you're calling somebody a hypocrite. You are the real hypocrite, because a hypocrite is pretending to be something they are not. You're pretending to be a messenger of God, and your actions show that you're just as dirty as any other whacked out, corrupt preacher or pastor that prey on your female congregation. And you can get angry all that you want to. That's the bottom line. Is there an apology? Is there any kind of remorse? No, you won't hear that, because we're too, too good for that. We're divine. Louis Farrakhan confessed that his words fed the fire that probably caused Malcolm to be assassinated. But you don't really see no remorse from Louis Farrakhan. Nor did I see an apology from Louis Farrakhan to the family of Malcolm, nor to Malcolm. Malcolm can be deceased, but I can still make a video. If I did something to Malcolm, I said I was come before this camera and I apologize to my brother Malcolm for what I did during that period of time. You don't hear that from Louis Farrakhan because I'm above that. And nobody is holding him accountable for his actions. Again, you don't hear apology or signs of remorse from the Nation of Islam. What kind of emotionless, cold-hearted people you dealing with? And they just smiling, brother bean pie, final call, brother. And these have become so cold-hearted people. The only time that you may have ever heard anybody of the Nation of Islam offer an apology is when Brother Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam. And he said to those of whom he talked about and called a coon and Uncle Tom and all these names, he offered an apology so that they could get together, and he wanted to work with the civil rights leaders and anybody who wanted to try to solve this problem of the so-called Negro in America. But other than that, the Nation of Islam is so cold-hearted that you don't, and arrogant, high and mighty. You killed Malcolm, and then in about 10 years after Malcolm's death, y'all lost it all. You deserve to lose everything. And you're still not, and just because thousands of people come hear you speak, don't mean nothing. Because people like being entertained. I love Elijah Muhammad. I have a love for Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. That's where I come from. As a child, I was attracted to that. But even my teacher, Elijah, through his books, because I never met the man, but through his books and writings, he told me to stand on truth, no matter what. So I stand on what I call the real truth, no matter what. I don't care about who you are. I don't care about personality. I don't care if you are Elijah. I'm going to tell Elijah Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, you are in error, you're wrong. I'm not going to be stupid, silly, and disrespectful, but I'm going to tell you you are in error. And if you continue that in that kind of manner, I can't support you. I can't walk with you. It's just as simple as that. I would have told Minister Farrakhan, if I had a chance, the error and the flaw in his ways. At one time, Minister Farrakhan was not the honorable. He was just simply, and he said out of his mouth, I'm just your little brother. Your little brother. We're just brothers and sisters here. No big eyes and little U's, but now it's the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And if you don't follow me, if you believe in Elijah, but you don't follow me, then you're a hypocrite. Now he's big shot. Brown nose. You're a big shot, but you have to brown nose these celebrities. Because when you brown nose these celebrities and people think that you're connected to them, it makes you feel better about yourself. Because you want to be like Elijah. You want to be Elijah Muhammad. You never seen pictures of him with all these celebrities and brown nosing people. But you have to do that because you're not Elijah. You're an entertainer. And that's what it's all about. So Louis Farrakhan can offer Beyonce security, but Khalid Muhammad was actually had a murder, an assassination attempt on his life, and you did not offer Khalid Muhammad nothing. This was your brother. He helped you for years. He helped you get what you got. Made you stand strong as where you were standing. And you offered him nothing. See? And y'all like all that. Y'all think that's cool. Y'all think that's right to do. Why would you offer security for Jesse Jackson back in the 80s and Beyonce, but not brother Khalid Muhammad? Or I heard through the grapevine, even some of your smaller ministers offer them nothing. Because see, Jesse Jackson got you into the national spotlight when he was running for president. There's a benefit. There's a benefit being associated with Beyonce or Michael Jackson. And this is the kind of mentality y'all embrace and want for leadership. Celebrity praise seeker. He brags about he's free because his followers support him. So I guess all your followers are millionaires. Some of them can barely pay their bills, but they're giving you money so you can be free. And your family, y'all can go around and go to these fancy restaurants and live in this big pretty house and whatever, and they barely making it. I can guarantee you some of Louis Farrakhan's followers are barely able to pay their bills. But Louis Farrakhan would turn around because he wants praise. He would go into the money that you've given him and give it to some other Negro that would praise him. And that's what it's all about. I want all this praise. Worship me. I'm a God. If you don't follow me, you're a hypocrite. That's so arrogant to say such a thing. Where is it written in biblical text that somebody's supposed to be following? Follow you for what? Now you want to follow a man who can't finish nothing that he has started. Back in the 80s, we had Blue Seas fish, very good fish. All of a sudden it disappeared. In the 80s, we had the clean and fresh products, the power products. It was the products was poor. Very bad quality, low quality products. But, you fall down, get up again. What happened to the power products? And just recently, you was talking about the Justice or Else campaign, the economic program. You've been trying to do this economic program since the 80s. Where's the money? What's up with you? This Nation of Islam under Farrakhan never finished what it starts. Never. Except brown-nosed celebrities. Except try to brag about how great I am. Oh, this is what Farrakhan said recently. When I went to these other Muslim lands, I talked to these imams or whatever. They say I'm the new Bilal. So what? Who are these Muslims? Who are they? Murderers, rapists, sinners. Who are they? So what if they called you something? So what do it mean? You are also called a demagogue. You're also called a hypocrite and a devil and all this other stuff. But you just want that which praises you. I have videos and put in a video package everybody that says something negative about me, because I could care less. Don't bother me none. What they say in entertainment, all publicity is good publicity. I don't care about it. It don't bother me none, because none of it is true. You want all this praise. What kind of leadership is this? I remember at one of our meetings in the 80s in Washington, D.C., and this lady came out, and I was on a post by the door. And she came out and she said, that was so entertaining. Here you are talking about injustice, slavery, and oppression. And this lady comes out, a black woman, and she says, that was so entertaining. What a wonderful show. I'm like, what? And now I see what she means by that. It's all a show, an illusion to feed your emotion. And in my conclusion, speaking about emotion, there's nobody that has emotion like my Christian brothers and sisters. And speaking of people giving folks praise, I have had many brothers and sisters who are Christians, and they have called me the Honorable Taalik. They have called me the new prophet. They have people call. I let that stuff go in this ear and out the other. I'm just simply your brother and going to stay on that level. I'm not higher and better than you are. I'm not the honorable. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a messenger. I'm just your brother who is simply thinking for himself, using his brain. And that's what I want us to do. Use your brain. No more, no less. I will never allow you to pump my head up and make me feel as though I'm the divine. I am subject to error. I make mistakes. I have a brother I talk to all the time who is a self-taught historian. And sometimes when I talk to him, I don't know if he notices it or not. I get very quiet because he puts me in check. When I thought that I was right or in the right direction, he says things as far as history is concerned. He puts me in my place and corrects my error and my flaw. And I love that. I don't like it because everybody wants to be right all the time. But you can't be right all the time. You make mistakes. There are those of whom I know I haven't caused harm to them, but I issue an apology so that perhaps we can still remain friendly, so that we can do what we all claim you want done, and that is to awaken and free our people once and for all from these races. I want to talk very quickly to my Christian brothers and sisters, because, see, I love my Christian brothers and sisters. I don't advocate religion. I don't acknowledge God, but I still love you. And because we are still brothers and sisters in oppression, and brothers and sisters as far as DNA, and we are relatives. You and I, we're family. We have different views and opinions, but I don't hate nobody. I don't dislike nobody. You never hear me get angry or me show anger because somebody believes in God. But you hear people get angry, they'll get upset over what I say. For what? Because the truth hurts. Looking at the man in the mirror, it hurts. And then you view me as a nobody. Who is this dude? How dare you? Who are you to tell me anything? You're not a messenger. You're not divine. You don't even believe in God. I bet you didn't even graduate from high school. Who are you? I'm your brother who has learned how to think for himself. I don't need to copy and keep quoting from, well, the Bible said. Elijah Muhammad teach this. the Holy Quran say? Proverbs, Deuteronomy. This is what Jesus would have done. What about you? Use your brain. What about your hands? There was a time, brothers and sisters, and I'm going to speak with my black Christian brothers and sisters, and perhaps others, atheists and agnostics, all of you really, but really my brothers and sisters who are Christians, because you have been tricked by Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's just the bottom line. I'm going to tell you how and why. We came from a meeting. This was the 80s. And we came from a meeting. And it was a diverse meeting. We had Muslims, Christians, and agnostics, and whomever, Hebrew Israelites. And we came from the meeting, went back to the mosque. And I felt so good because all these brothers and sisters, we were united under one roof. But, see, this is what I don't like. I don't like fake people. I don't like hypocrites. We got back to the mosque. Then they started talking about how the people are following us, we who are in the nation of Islam. No, we came together as a group to unite under a common umbrella. No, brother. Can't you see how the people rally around us? Because they know that we have the answer. So when you as a Christian or an agnostic or an atheist or whatever you think that whatever you want to call yourself, when you rally around Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, let me tell you, you feed their delusion because they're not really looking for unification with you. They view you as a follower. You need them. You're looking towards them for guidance because they have the supreme wisdom. What they have is divine and great. It's the truth, far greater. What you have causes you to be lost and you slave. It says in the Quran, remember, these are Muslims. Louis Farrakhan make very clear, I'm a Muslim. He also says, I'm a Christian, and all that old wacky round the earth stuff that he be talking. I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew, all that technical stuff. But when it's all said and done, he's a Muslim. And he makes that very clear. So I am going to obey the Quran. What does the Quran say, though? Bring this up to the followers of Louis Farrakhan and any of these Muslims. What does the Quran say about Christians and Jews? The Quran says and makes very clear, do not take Christians and Jews for friends. So the question that I raised to Louis Farrakhan and all these people, if you're a Muslim, why are you taking Christians and Jews for friends? Because I am going to use you for my purpose. Because eventually I'm going to convert you to Islam. He's not interested in your Jesus Christ as you're taught. But he knows how to teach it in a manner to make you feel good. And see, that's what it's all about, making you feel good and making you feel happy. And they hide Islam behind black liberation because there are many of us, we suffer injustice and oppression, and we know how rough it has been as a black man, a soul brother and sister living in racist Caucasian pink America. So they use that, but they keep putting in your mind Islam, 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 because that's what it's all about, trying to get converts, hiding your dirty religion behind black liberation. That's what it's all about. I'm going to use the black Christian. I'm going to use the Jew and anybody else because I'm not supposed to be friends with them, but there's nothing written where I can't exploit you. And that's what that's what bothers me. I don't like people when they are exploited. You're being tricked, you're being used. No better than, what's his name? Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes. Those pastors on the Pastors of Los Angeles or whatever that reality show is. Exploitation and trickery, deceit of the people. I don't like that. And when I was a helper, a follower of Elijah Muhammad under his guidance, I did not like that. I told them outright. And like I told you, I was always called insubordinate. I should have been Taalik X insubordinate. That's what I should have been. Because I don't like that. That's not right. If I don't like you, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want your money. If I don't want your friendship and not supposed to be friends with you, I don't want your money. I don't want nothing to do with you. The Quran says, do not take Christians and Jews for friends. So why are you doing this? Because I'm going to use you. We go back to the incompetence of Louis Farrakhan, and they show you all the time he went on this tour. I guess when you're on vacation and people taking care of you, I guess you can go all over the earth since you don't have a real job like most of us have that you did not provide. I guess you can go. What's that word? Gallifanting. What's that word? Gala, whatever. Running around. He only went to Muslim countries because he's looking for converts in the promotion of Islam. Not interested. So if you also advocate black liberation, when you went to these Muslim nations and talked to and had these meetings and conferences with all these people, what was the benefit? What do you and what did you bring to the black liberation struggle? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. And some of y'all, because he makes you feel good. And really, I'm not tripping off Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Because I'm pretty sure I don't wish bad on nobody. And death comes to all men, including myself and all of us one day. But Louis Farrakhan is 80 years old. And although we see him in the public, bubbly and running around, we know that this man suffered from prostate cancer. When he passes this life, that will be the end of the Nation of Islam. There is no personality that the people are attracted to. Unlike Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad created men with personality. Well, actually, he did not create the men. They always had it. But there were men that had the charisma and the attraction that could attract the masses of the people and keep the teachings rolling. Louis Farrakhan has Sister Ava Muhammad and Brother Nuri and Brother Abdul and some of the other ministers, but nobody, Brother Ishmael, but out of all the people in his ranks, to my knowledge, there is nobody that can attract and mesmerize and the people, electrify the masses that could take his place like that? Nobody. And then when he passes his life, like always, you're going to have internal conflict, because there are going to be those who don't want to see Brother Ishmael in the top leadership position and so forth, and history will repeat itself, because it should never have been raised up again anyway. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said out of his own mouth that the Islam that we have now, as we know it, whether it is his brand of Islam or Orthodox Islam, that Islam will not enter the kingdom of heaven or the hereafter. It's not going to do it. So why should Elijah Muhammad leave an error when he knows that his Islam is not going to be able to enter the hereafter? And he also knows, he also knows that he is surrounded by a bunch of blind followers. If the people were like Malcolm, then perhaps that nation of Islam probably never would have fallen. It could never have been destroyed. But you decided because you were wrong. Because you were wrong, you decided to kill your best example of Muslimhood. Everybody else blind followers, unable to think for themselves. Malcolm was special. And maybe that's the reason why Allah took Malcolm away from you, so that you could be punished, so that you could fall. But the nation will rise again, but not in the form that it was. And I'm telling you that this, what I call the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry, what I bring is the evolution of the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam was the first time you heard God called flesh and blood, God called a man. Was the first time that there was an attempt in religion to make God real, other than the sun, a crocodile, or whatever else they worshiped in the ancient past. We are supposed to be children of Allah. We're supposed to be children of God. But you never grow up. This is the evolution to put you on a path to your adulthood, so that you don't have to talk about, I'm a god, I'm a goddess. You don't have to talk about it. You can be about it. People will see, and they can see through your example and who you are. Something is different. They must be gods. Because we've never seen no human beings express such power. That's what it's all about. Growing up. It says in the teachings of the nation that God dies. So if Wallace Fard is going to die or has died, then he has to have a replacement. Where is it going to come from? It has to come from the same place he came from the womb of a woman, from the people that he represented. It could be you. It could be me. If we were allowed to evolve, but we're not. Gods don't serve God. Another God respect another God, but they don't serve. You are still serving God because you're still a child. But when you mature, you don't serve God no more. Because whatever that God can do, you can do, if not better. And that's what it's about. We are sons and daughters of the Most High. You can't be a son and daughter of the Most High being a servant, being a slave. A slave's life only benefits his or her massa. So as long as you worship and praise and foam at the mouth for Jesus and all that kind of stuff, the only thing you are is a slave. And that's not what I want for you. I want you to be a real God and goddess, a king and queen, a righteous king and queen, a righteous God, a person that truly represents freedom, justice, and equality for all people, regardless to what the races have done. And when you get into that state of mind, even the races who are sick of the murder and the mayhem and the chaos, even they will bow down to you. That's why Elijah Muhammad told Farrakhan that one day all his enemies will bow down and lay down at his feet when you become right. All those who did you wrong, they will bow down because they benefit and live better because of your righteousness. Do you understand? So this is not about hate or jealousy of Louis Farrakhan. This is about the upliftment of Farrakhan, the upliftment of us as a people and becoming better. We are doing ourselves a disservice when somebody is doing wrong and we don't correct them. And if God is a man and you pray to Allah, then you praying to a man. And it takes a man to come to you and tell you that you're wrong. And if man is God, that makes me Allah. And as a Muslim, what do you say? Follower of Elijah Muhammad. Oh Allah, guide us on the right path. Who's going to guide you on the right path? Some spook? Some spirit? I'm going to send to you a brother. I'm going to send to you a sister. But because I don't look like and don't think like you believe I should think, then my advice and my suggestion is rejected. And what does it say in your Quran about those who reject truth, those who are hypocrites? What does it say? I don't have to tell you. Y'all know already. Let's stop using people. If you're looking for converts to Islam, then you do that. Be honest with the Christians and the atheists and all those who look to you and believe that you represent black struggle, liberation, when in reality, that's not what you represent. Just be honest. Stop all this fake stuff. Because as long as you fake, not only me, but everybody has a right to speak about it and talk about it. With that said, thank you for listening. Jot down your comments and subscribe. This your brother, the Angel Snubbed Up 7. Love, peace, and soul. Rest in peace to my brother Don Cornelius.